Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Post-game, Barrow Afc taking on Wrexham Afc at the Holker Street 6,500 stadium. That's the capacity. Well, we had a bit of a big crowd, yeah, 8,789. You can see where Wrexham go. People want to be part of this show. I tell you now, every game is a cup final, and I told you weeks and weeks and weeks ago before the season started, every game Wrexham plays will be a cup final. There is no easy games. There are no gimmies, and everybody wants to beat Wrexham. You're getting used to that, are you? Because I tell you what, the rest of the season is going to be like this all the way. I got a few feelings. We need to add a few additions into defence, into midfield, and possibly up front. Don't forget we got Paul Mullin coming back. But I got to tell you, this League Two season is going to be a toughie, and I think we need to get a few more in. And I'm not in the panic stage. I'm just in the realism stage that level of National League to League Two, as I said, stepping up, it would be a challenge. It is becoming a challenge. Let's get into the game. Let's start with the starting lineups. Big addition today was Mark Howard in goal. Glad to see Mark coming back in. And you got to remember, Ben Foster retired in the week. The body can't do it. The brain thought it could. And I thought that, you know, why did he come back for such a short spell? If you knew your body was into it, you'd know, right? Did he just find out that the body couldn't do it? I don't know. But on the day, you're going to hear it about Mark Howard. Great game by Mark Howard. And I'll tell you what, looking at Holker Street Stadium today, packed, literally packed. All you can say, though, first off, we were literally running the show in the first half. Wrexham were in control of the game. And I tell you what, it wasn't a surprise that on 11 minutes in, Tozer, the ball over the top, and I tell you what, Palmer gets fouled, and it literally was a ball from the halfway line. Tozer over the top. Palmer takes it down, has a bit of a tussle with the defender. In my mind, I think Ollie goes down a little easy, but I don't mind when it wins a penalty, right? You don't mind either. So a penalty comes up, and my man, Elliot Lee, 5 for 5, 5 games, 5 goals. He tucks the penalty away, and at half-time, it's 1-0. However, on 25, Ollie Palmer could have made it 2-0 and could have secured 3 points. But he blazes over from about 25 feet. 25 minutes in, still 1-0. We get to half-time, and you got to say, the star of the half, no, not Elliot Lee, Mark Howard. Great save halfway through on 23 minutes in. And I tell you, what a fine piece of keeping. And Mark would handle the ball very well. And I got to tell you, I personally felt more comfortable with Mark Howard in goal than I did with Ben Foster. And I'm not being rude on Ben, and I know you just retired, but Mark Howard gave me some confidence. Whenever Barrow went forward, I always thought that Mark would be the guy in the right place, as he was a few times, especially in the second half. So at half-time, it's 1-0 Wrexham, looking good on the road. Points are coming our way, moving up the table, looking good. Second half, though, second half. First half was great. Second half, not so. And Phil Parkinson would not be happy at the end of the game. You're going to see those pictures keep sticking around because I tell you what, he does make a point. And the referee, what did you think about the referee in the first half? Were you thinking that he had a great performance? Was it a little bit iffy? Was he calling some stuff that you couldn't understand? Because I saw some calls. I saw a lot of hands in the air from Wrexham players, first half and second half, asking, what the hell are you doing? And some of the calls, I got to say, I'm not being rude on the ref, but some of the calls, they left me confused. And I know that on the commentary teams, they were a little confused too. So, referee didn't have the best day, didn't have a terrible day. But some of the calls, you got to say, what was he doing? But hey, you got to say, second half gets underway, second half finishes. The only things we can talk about in the second half is that Barrow would come out and dominate most of the second half, unless you're talking the last 15 minutes where Wrexham did come to try and get a winning goal. But on 52, Aqua gets the goal. And I've got to tell you this, the ball comes through, Aqua collects, goes up against O'Connell. O'Connell's backing off. Get tight. Don't back off. So he backs off, moves aside, and Aqua just slides the ball into the top corner. And I tell you, Mark Howard had no chance on that goal. But O'Connell, if you get closer, touch tight, that's not a goal. And Wrexham really could run out 1-0 winners. So looking at O'Connell, a few people are coming down on him right now. And I tell you now, that was a reason when you do come down on him, and I hope Phil Parkinson can sort that out, get touch tight. Don't give him space. Don't let him turn. Don't let him go past you. Don't let him shoot. And help Mark Howard get a clean sheet because he deserved it on the day. So on the day, that was the thing I'm looking at there. 1-1 on the day. You've heard about the main pointers. The other main point coming up may well make you surprised, but you've got to say, on the day, she finishes 1 apiece. And it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game, but we should have actually come out of there with more than the point. Check the stats as you move through. They're going to be up at the end. This is where it gets a little bit funny, you got to say. But there you go. After the game, I'm looking at Phil on the big screen right now. He's having a bit of a yak, and so is Elliot Lee with the referee. And he's getting a bit closer, and the referee's getting a little bit scared, or a little bit, I'm not going to let you come close to me. Bit of attitude coming back at the referee. Elliot Lee looking like, what the hell are you doing, ref? What's the problem? He's just talking. And then, ref, what about the time? What about the time? Referees like that, I'm not having any of this. You're going straight in the book. Phil Parkinson at the end of the game gets a yellow card. Like I say, it finishes 1 apiece on the day, but it could have been so much better. Got to say, O'Connell gets some touch tight. Mark Howard in goal did a fantastic performance. Elliot Lee puts the ball away up front nicely on the penalty spot, but up front, we are missing Paul Mullin. And you can say Sam Dorby can come on, Burkstuff can come on, but we are missing a lead striker right now. And I think that movement that Paul gives us and the timing and that, you could say, attitude up front. Well, Ollie Palmer is missing his mate. Okay, on the day, there we are. That's all we've got time for. Come back in midweek for the Bradford game. EFL Cup at the Racecourse Ground. And hopefully, we'll have something to smile for. But right now, Wrexham sitting 16th in the table. We get a point on the day, but we go down a spot. And let's hope that the form picks up throughout the rest of the season, because as I've told you a few times, guys, this is going to be a tough season. And if we get up to the playoff spots, it's going to take a mammoth task, because as you are seeing, a lot of these teams know how to play ball. And they know how to work the clock. They know how to work the referee. And they also know how to play a cup final every time Wrexham is the opposition. Have a great weekend, guys. Get ready for Tuesday. I'm still upbeat about this. We're still doing good things. Good things are still going to happen. 16th in the league. We're not going to be there for long. We will be moving up. And by the time Christmas comes, who knows where we are. On that note, have a look at the Christmas fixtures. It's not the best Christmas for Wrexham fans. That's all I'm going to say. See you Tuesday. Cheers.